What is up, y'all? GenZFanatics back to close out the week. NFL Week 4 is coming to an end, and this is the Monday Night Football game. The Seattle Seahawks versus the New York Giants. I'm not too excited about this game if I'm being honest, but I'm going to give you what I think and my props and one fantasy player, and we're going to go from there. Obviously, you can see EJ's not here. It is currently 10:17 p.m. on the Friday night. I am filming this episode really late in the week. I'm just very busy with school and other things I'm doing in my life. I'm currently entering my next 5K season. I just came home from training. As you could see, I am ready for bed. I don't sleep in a sweater, but or a hoodie, you could say. I don't sleep in this. I just have my PJs underneath, and I don't want to show that off. But it is very late at night, and I am here giving you my takes on this amazing Monday Night Football game. I think it's still going to be a good game. I'm just not too excited about it. So, with that being said, we're going to go to my props for this game, and I'm going to give you a nice two-man because I feel good in these props, and I did my research on them, as I always do. And if you didn't see it last night, Thursday Night Football, me and EJ, we hit on our three-man. If you tailed, congrats. If not, I'm sorry. Maybe next time, take a chance. But these props, I also feel real good. My first prop, Kenneth Walker over a half receiving, rush, or pass touchdown. He just has to score a touchdown. I am very confident in this prop. Here's why. His last two games, he has scored 2 touchdowns in each of them. Not 1, but 2. Okay? And one game was versus the Lions. The Lions have a way better defense than the Giants do. And then the next one came against the Panthers, which was last week. So, with that being said, Seattle's O-line is also very, very talented. I've seen some great things from them, and they're able to protect the pass and the run very, very well. Giants also let Tony Pollard go for 7 yards and 2 touchdowns in 3 quarters in prime time. And this is a primetime game. Giants rush is ranked 26th versus the rush. So smash this prop because this is definitely going to hit. You can't apply for insurance, but it's a nice two-man. My next prop for this game, Darren Waller. Over 47.5 receiving yards. Now, you might be staring at me like, Darren Waller, he hasn't done anything. You're right, he hasn't. And the Giants purely suck. But, here's what I'm going to say about this. Seattle is ranked 14th versus the tight ends. That's not that good. It's not too great. It's not too good. It's decent. But, and Waller is Jones' go-to in the pass game with no other receivers showing any consistency that Waller has been showing. When he's targeted, he usually comes down off the ball. Not a big gain, but usually he's able to be trusted. And he's kind of got off to a slow start. I think every game he plays, he'll progress towards the same Waller that we saw in Las Vegas. Now, Daniel Jones, I don't know. But we'll see what happens with that. But with Waller not doing too well against a talented San Francisco team, expect him to bounce back and make some noise in this must-win game that I think is for the Giants. I think they need to win this game. They just haven't seemed good all year. From the beginning, they just haven't seemed like the Giants that everyone expected them to be. Obviously, Saquon is still listed as out for this game. There's optimism that he plays, but I don't see him playing in this game. I said that about Joe Burrow too, and we saw what happened. So don't take my word on that, but a high ankle sprain is more serious than a calf injury. So I don't see him playing in this game. I think he needs one more week to feel really good about himself. But going on with that, he had 76 yards on Arizona. Arizona has showed that they're a decent defensive team. I wouldn't put them over Seattle. But with Seattle being ranked 14th in the past, I don't think Arizona's too far behind. Darren Waller over 47.5 receiving yards. I think it is safe. Also, it might just take one big shot downfield, catch someone lacking. You never know. So those are my two props. Put those together for a nice two-man. Hopefully you cash out. Going to my fantasy player. So for my fantasy player, it was kind of... I was looking at Geno Smith. I was looking at the Seahawks defense. I was looking at Tyler Lockett. I was even looking at the kickers, in this game. On the Giants, I don't want to back up my prop with a fantasy player. I hate doing that, so I left Darren Waller out, even though I think he's going to be the guy. For my fantasy player this week, though, I think it's an obvious DK Metcalf. Okay? If you don't have him in your lineup, you must have a real star-studded team. And you also must have been disappointed with his production. And I don't blame you. But he is one of the most consistent fantasy receivers in the whole league. His last 3 games, he had 13.7, 13.5, and last week 17.2. So he's progressing. Right? And he's staying along that consistent line. And as a receiver, that's pretty decent. Maybe as a wide receiver too. That's pretty decent for me. And he's easily Geno's favorite target. And he's very hard to guard in certain situations. He's a big dude. He's big and he's fast. And he has amazing eye coordination for that ball. So DK Metcalf is definitely someone that I would start. He's playing a 16th ranked Giants pass defense. And Debo had 129 yards and a touchdown. Marquise Brown had 54 and a touchdown. And Michael Wilson had 56. And then you go back to week 1, CeeDee Lamb had 77 through 3 quarters since the Cowboys starters did not play in the 4th quarter. Giants cannot stop the top receivers, and DK is heavily favored, I think, in this game. So if you took him out of your lineup because you're not confident in put him back, because I guarantee you DK is going to have a monster game, and this Giants team is just not strong. So expect that. Now, to my score prediction for this game. Like I said, I'm not too excited about it. It's not a game that I was like, wow, I'm still contemplating if I should stay up for it or not. I might stay up for it. I think I have a couple fantasy players playing in it. So, we got to see. But for my score prediction, I think the Seahawks win 28-19. With no Saquon, it will be very difficult for the Giants to find ways to score outside of Darren Waller. They impressed in the first half versus San Fran. Don't get me wrong, I was real impressed. I'm like, dang, they are actually doing decent. But the game plan couldn't last, and San Fran came onto it and just came out the second half firing on all cylinders. Seahawks are 2-1, and both sides of the ball are playing very great with the Seahawks. Looking back at last year too, they were playing great on offense and defense. They kind of carried that over to this season. They're playing amazing. They beat the Lions, who are now 3-1. And Giants are not as near as good as Detroit is, right? And Daniel Jones, here's a real interesting stat to have. Daniel Jones is 1-10 in primetime games. 1-10. And with the last one, which was at home, ending it in a 40-0 loss. Seattle is going to control this game and win. I know it's in New York, but Daniel Jones in primetime sucks. He's not the guy. I know they said the same thing about Kirk Cousins. Then he goes out and beats the Patriots last year on Thanksgiving Day. We saw that coming. It was all hyped up and talked about, but no one is talking about Daniel Jones being bad in primetime games. He simply is just not the guy. 1-10, that's... Jesus. So... Not to hate on the Giants or Daniel Jones. With no Saquon, I really think it's going to be hard to stop him or to score against this talented Seahawks team. So, we're going to see what happens. The Seahawks are 2-1. They're about to go to 3-1. I think it's low scoring and tight because of the fact that Giants know they need to win this game. Philadelphia is 3-0. Washington, surprisingly, is 2-1. Dallas is also 2-1. Giants are 1-2. If they go to 1-3 with the Eagles possibly going to win, Washington going to 2-2, and then Dallas hopefully going to 2-2 as well. That is a tough hole to crawl out of with already having played Dallas and losing. Giants lose, Seahawks win. That is my take on Monday Night Football, and that concludes our Week 4 for GenZFanatics. Don't forget, game of the week, Eagles versus Washington. Christian versus EJ. Drop punishments if you already have not on that episode. It is a short episode. You guys should be able to get through that one. Please do it for us. And drop punishments for EJ or Christian. I'm not saying who I think is going to win. I'm going to keep it for the day of the game. Right before the game starts, I'll text them both. Here's what I think is going to happen. They're going to love that. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video and hit that bell. We out.